proceed on to reports.
Okay, under reports, we're going to start out, the counselors are going to present some information to you. Last year, if you remember, about this time of the year, they met with you, talked to you about some data that was called BVQ data, and then talked about some training that they would be implementing in the buildings for staff and the students, a program, a model called OBEUS, that has a deep research base behind it, and it was selected intentionally. It's actually one of the few bullying and harassment programs that received Department of Education support. So they're back to talk about that, and they're also going to share with you but share responsibilities that they have as counselors. One of the things they've been working on this year with AEA personnel and other counselors in our AEA has been just their program work to make sure that their program focuses on the essential areas that the Department of Ed and that statute requires that we do, as well as additional areas. We were thinking it was going to happen at the last board meeting. A couple of the counselors couldn't make it, so we postponed it to this meeting. And in the meantime, and you've got a copy of it in your board packet, there was a letter to the editor by Charles Schneering, a staff paper, and lots of questions about bullying and harassment in our school district. And the counselor's presentation will answer some of those questions for you, and I've got answers for part of those. One of the things that Dave had asked for was an incident list, and the boards are not going to receive an incident list, incident by incident. That's privacy information, but you are going to get information tonight from the counselors about the founding cases of harassment and bullying in each of the 4 buildings, and you can ask questions to them, to the principals, to me, and we'll do our best to answer those for you. But I think that you're going to feel comfortable when you're able to answer questions, and I finish with our presentation, that the items that Mr. Schneering asked about or made comment about can be answered for you, and you can feel comfortable about what the district is doing. And I want you to know that this school was never contacted by that individual by phone or by email with an appointment. So we never had a chance to provide answers to those questions. But we want everyone, the public that are here as well as our boards, to feel very comfortable with what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what the data shows us. So you're on, counselors. Community people, and this is a bad situation for you guys, but it's our pleasure. We could sit and look that direction. We're going to have to turn around.
Okay, since some of you probably weren't here the last time that we presented about the Bully Victim Questionnaire, and that's what BVQ stands for, is Bully Victim Questionnaire. First thing we're going to do is kind of go over what actually this questionnaire is. It's a standardized, validated, multiple-choice questionnaire, and it's designed to measure a number of aspects of bullying problems. It's 40 questions long, but several of the questions have sub-questions. First it will ask, have you ever, and if they answer no, they go to the next question. But if they answer yes, then it will have a sub-question to it. We gave this questionnaire to students in grades 3 through 11 this year, just as we did last year, and it's given anonymously. At no time whatsoever are they putting their name on it. They put their grade. They fill in a bubble letter or a bubble number so we know what grade that they're in. And that's the only thing. It's completely anonymous. After they take it, they put it in an envelope, so we as the proctors don't even touch it. So we don't know whose is whose. So it's very safeguarded that way. The questionnaire provides a very detailed definition of bullying, and when Becky and I we gave every single one. Becky gave to the 3rd and 4th, I gave 5 through 8, and then we split up the 9 through 11. It is required that we read the definition of bullying and harassment to them. So Becky's going to read that definition, and I ask you to pay attention very closely because we're going to come back to this later in the presentation.
So here's what was read from the survey to the students as we administered the test, and we read this to all levels, 3 through 11. First, we explain what bullying is. We say a student is being bullied when another student or several other students say mean and hurtful things, or make fun of him or her, or call him or her mean and hurtful names, completely ignore or exclude him or her from their group of friends, or leave him or her out of things on purpose, hit, kick, push, shove around, or lock him or her inside a room, tell lies or spread false rumors about him or her, or send mean notes and try to make other students dislike him or her, and do other hurtful things like that. When we talk about bullying, these things happen more than just once. And it's difficult for the student being bullied to defend himself or herself. We also call it bullying when a student is teased more than just once in a mean and hurtful way. But we do not call it bullying when the teasing is done in a friendly and playful way. Also, it is not bullying when two students of about equal strength or power argue or fight.
And then we ask them, does everyone understand? And that's the chance where we can clarify. The next thing is most of the questions are referred to a specific period of time. In the directions, it's very specific that everybody is thinking about the same period of time. We typically give this in the spring, so we say from Christmas until now. So everybody's thinking about this time frame, so when we're looking at the data, we're comparing the same time frame each year. Okay, we're going to start actual data now.
One of the things we want you to be aware of as we go through, I guess there's a couple things. The black bar will be this last this is the survey that we gave in May of 2009. The blue bar would be the survey that we gave in May of 2008. Okay, so we did some comparisons. Also, 2000, what we did is we grouped them by class. So the class of 2018 would be this year's, I guess they're going into 4th grade. So in May, when they took the survey, they were in 3rd grade. So 2017 would be this year's, they were in 4th grade when they took the survey. They're going into 5th grade as we start the school year. You'll notice when we do the elementary centers, 2018 is only going to have a bar for last May because in 2nd grade they didn't take the survey. Okay, so we have nothing to compare that to. The other thing you're going to want to notice is on the y-axis, the percentages of increase changes as the presentation was developed. The program just kind of fit it so that visually it looked good. But you're going to want to notice that what the actual percentage is so that you can, if you want to compare it, building to building. So at the elementary center, the first thing that we decided, or that we showed you last year and we want to show you again this year, is the percentage of girls and boys. Their perception is they have said yes, they have been bullied 2 to 3 times a month or more. Obeas talks about in the definition, it's repeated. So 2 to 3 times a month or more would start to fit our definition, that it's happening more often. It's not just once. Okay? So if you look at this data, showing that their overall perception is that they feel like there was less bullying, especially the one that we can compare. In the Wall Lake Center, the current 4th graders going into 5th grade did say that their perception is that they thought there was more. One of the things to know in 4th grade, so there would have been 16 girls and 18 boys who took the survey, so that's the percent of that total number. It's about 34 kids. About. Not everyone was there that day. Some chose not to take it.
On the middle school data, we want to point out that the class of 2016 is asterisk because when they took the survey the previous year, they were in 2 separate buildings. So what we had to do was average that data to compare it to this year's data when they were in 1 building. So every time you see middle school data, you'll see the class of 2016 is asterisk for that reason. And if you look, the perception for each grade level is that there's less bullying than the previous year. Again, the same type of data, you can see that the perception is that there's less.
Next question that we looked at is percentage of girls and boys who have bullied another student 2 or 3 times. So it actually asked the kids to admit, have they participated in bullying other kids? Again, if you look on the x-axis, notice that this one's only increasing by 2%, so it's from 12% down to like 3. It's not, even though there's a big bar, it's not like it's 80%. So I just want to make sure you understand that.